Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for Ask the Expert North Texas. I'm Kristen Diaz.
I'm David Rankin. The World Series returns to North Texas for the first time in 12 years. What's that mean to the city of Arlington? Who better to talk to than the Arlington Convention and Visitors Bureau? We're joined by Brent DeRaad from Arlington, and he is in the KRLD Zoom room. Brent, so it's been a while since the Rangers have been able to host a World Series game. How do you prepare for this? This is kind of almost sudden, or have you been preparing for this for a while?
Well, it's hard to believe that it's already on top of us. Not a lot of notice like you might get with a FIFA World Cup or another large event like that. But I think from Arlington's perspective, we were really built for big events like this. We're very excited, obviously, to be able to welcome in the World Series. Just so happens we'll have the Rams Cowboys on Sunday, and then being able on Friday and Saturday, to launch in with a World Series should be an amazing weekend for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with it being the entertainment district, we've been seeing so much growth in Arlington over the years, and there's still growth going on. I mean, there's still construction happening there along the freeway and whatnot. So, what can people expect who are going to be coming to Arlington for the first time, and how are we seeing that response already during this series with hotels and restaurants benefiting?
Well, and again, if the playoffs have been any indication so far, what we can probably expect to see is, 30 to 35% of the people in the stands will be from outside 50 miles. And with the World Series, that might be even larger. And with visitation means those hotel stays, means a lot of food and beverage, entertainment, merchandise sales. We're probably anticipating going up from starting the first round of the playoffs, maybe 5 to 6 million per game. We really believe, kind of based on past experience, what we saw in Houston last year and in previous years, we're expecting $12 to $14 million per home game in terms of direct spending here in Arlington.
That's not bad. And of course, the fans would want it to end very quickly, but there's nothing like 7 games where you have 4 of them inside the ballpark to, keep those tourists here and spending all that money.
And no question for us, when we were coming into October, September, we actually set a room revenue record in terms of hotels here in Arlington. October didn't look as good in comparison, but now with all of these Rangers playoff games, October went from being a rather average month for us to it should be one of the best months in Arlington history. And for us, being able to have maybe a 7-game World Series, certainly with the Rangers coming out on top, would be maybe the best of all worlds for us.
Curious on how do you get the message across? People who come in, either they're flying into the airports here in DFW or Love Field, or they're driving up on 35 or even 45. How do you get people to turn to Arlington if they're staying somewhere else, or to come to Arlington? How do we get that message across despite just regular television, radio? Or do you guys really communicate with the hotels to kind of keep people on the up and up on everything that's happening around town?
We do our very best to ensure that the hotels are on top of it. We communicate with them regularly and have been throughout the process. I think a lot of them were certainly hoping for a World Series, no question about it. And again, I think when we're looking at the end of the day here and kind of what those results are, we fully anticipate sellout nights here in Arlington, both Friday and Saturday night. And then if the World Series returns the following week, another Friday, Saturday, should be just huge weekends for us. But they're ready to go. A lot of our hotels, a lot of our attractions, everybody, they're on top of these big events. And so nothing could be better for us, though, than being able to have a World Series here in Arlington.
Big difference with having a World Series here in Arlington and in North Texas, as opposed to last year in Houston, where all the money stayed in the city of Houston. Here, we've got Dallas, we've got Fort Worth, we've got Arlington, we've got all the other cities around here that can possibly host some of those guests coming in. You have cooperative efforts with the other cities to make the experience the best possible one.
A lot of it happens organically, but just was in contact with my counterpart from Fort Worth today and congratulated him on the business that'll be heading their way. And one of the reasons for that, in Arlington, we have about 7,400 hotel rooms, but that's out of 126,000 hotel rooms in the Metroplex. So only about 7% of those rooms. What that means is with all these guests coming in, we'll certainly do fine here in Arlington, but these guests are also going to stay in surrounding cities. And that benefit does certainly cascade throughout the Metroplex.
with this influx, and this is, like you said, this is just one of several big events that Arlington is, hunkering down for. But, what is the labor, looking like right now? Are you guys short right now on, hospitality workers, or is this really an attraction for people here in the Metroplex to come work in Arlington?
What we've seen is that after COVID-19, probably the industry that was hit hardest was the tourism and the hospitality industries, and so we are still short when it comes to labor, here in Arlington, and we have some new hotels opening, other attractions, and that's a concern. We have our own 501c3 nonprofit that's dedicated to train and train and educate students about just some of the different jobs within these industries. So for us, it is a concern on an ongoing basis, but we're certainly seeing that right now, at least our hotels, our restaurants, a lot of our different attractions, they're up to the challenge in terms of being able to deliver the type of customer experience that that incoming fans will be seeking.
You talk about the attractions. One thing that is just great about where Globe Life Field is you've got this place right next door called Texas Live, and not everyone's going to be able to get into the World Series, but they can also experience it with other fans inside a place like that. How important is something like Texas Live?
Texas Live is absolutely vital in terms of the overall success of what we're trying to do, and especially when we take a look at a bunch of fans coming in for the Cowboys game on Sunday. We were already almost sold out on Saturday night, and this was before the World Series came in. And so, what we can expect, to experience is that we're going to have a lot of fans, both of certainly the Rangers, whoever their opponent's going to be, the Rams, the Cowboys, everybody kind of converging together. Texas Live with 300,000 square feet of space and a lot of entertainment there. That's going to be a lot of fun. And what we've seen from our research is that they're getting several thousand people per game. Just patronizing that place. Just people want to be in and around the experience. So, we're anticipating certainly a great weekend ahead.
We've talked to other cities like in Frisco when they've had, big events coming into town. And they talk to us about how those planning sessions and those meetings with the outside entities can be. What has your experience been like, dealing with NFL, MLB, FIFA, like having to deal with these bigger corporations and their expectations for your city?
One of the great things is that, again, with the city of Arlington, we're really fortunate in terms of the leadership. They oftentimes will take the lead along with kind of the host entities as well. So with Major League Baseball, we've had a lot of experience recently with the Texas Rangers. We spent quite a bit of time in Seattle for the MLB All-Star game, and we've had MLB staff in here prepping for that. So the fact that they know our city so well, it makes it a lot easier for them in terms of just the preparations that they've had to make, when it comes to a potential World Series and now an actual World Series. So they have the hotel contacts. They know where they want to put, again, a lot of the VIPs. They know where they want to have stage parties and that type of thing too. So that familiarity has really helped on that front. But it's a real treat to be able to work with some of the world's top sports organizations, Major League Baseball, NFL, FIFA, and the NCAA, as well as some of the events that we brought in. So great opportunity for us.
I have one final question, and I'm sure you can't answer it, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Working with the city of Arlington itself, when would the parade be if you already started planning it?
And the parade, yeah, that's a great question. There's a lot of conversations happening about that right now. It'll all depend on, again, hopefully the Rangers win, and then we take a look at how quickly they might be able to wrap that up. But the route and just trying to get all the logistics handled for something like that, it's an undertaking, and there are a lot of people working on it right now. Let's hope all that work pays off, and then we have a great party here in Arlington.
No doubt. All of Arlington PD, I know you guys also partner up with outside police departments here in the Metroplex. Everyone does a phenomenal job keeping everyone safe and keeping it just a fun environment. And I know they got a lot of work along with you guys with getting all that planning done.
No question. It's a labor of love, no question. But it's one of those things with the Rangers. When you take a look at Ray Davis and Neil Liebman, just the entire Rangers organization and the job that they've done through the years, I can't think of a more deserving group. And I think all of us in Arlington would really love to see this pay off in a World Series victory for the ownership and certainly for the organization as a whole.
That's Brent DeRaad from the Arlington Convention and Visitors Bureau. Brent, thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it, David. Thanks, Kristen.